The first episode, once we had written it in July last year, was not workshopped, what's the word I'm looking for, was discussed at a focus group level using a company that does this sort of thing. They made questionnaires and they went all over the country, all over Kenya, and they asked people of certain demographics, what do you think? Do these stories ring true? Is it entertaining? Would you learn anything from these characters? Do you see anybody here who you think is not nice or you wouldn't like to see?
The money that the UN has injected here to get these things started have gone to research. We've done a lot of research among the population here. What do they want to know more about? Where are the gaps?
And with that information, once that information came back at the early part of this year, we started to tweak the first episode in order for it to fit in with what, because we want people to be listening and we want them to identify with these characters.
For the UN, this soap opera is a vehicle for communication. We're not just giving information out, but we also want feedback. We have started with the feedback, as I said, in our research, and we are going to continue that as the programs are being done.
With additional finance from the British Council and the Ford Foundation, the project has also embarked on an extensive capacity-building program. This involves international production expertise led by Matthew Robinson, who's head of drama at BBC Wales and former executive producer of the top UK soap EastEnders.
Well, I was telephoned by Clive Haynes, who's the project manager, and I just arrived at BBC Wales from EastEnders, and he'd seen my name on the EastEnders credits, and he said, could I help him with a new soap in Nairobi? And it sounded quite an exciting project, as it's been my life doing drama and television soaps. So I said, why not?
Through a series of practical skills transfer workshops, crucial training has been given to Kenyan scriptwriters, actors, directors and production teams.
I specialise in these training courses, which I've developed over the years as other things to do. As a freelance director, you can't always get the work that you want continuously, and so that's one of my sidelines of these workshops.
We have just been doing acting on television or whatever, kind of mechanically, particularly for the screen, mechanically. We did not know the reason why, take this, take 5, takes what, and also the angles, whatever. Now we are getting to understand. And also we are getting to understand, you don't have to shout, and a lot of, because a lot of people in the theater, they throw their hands in the air, they use body language. He is telling us none of that. Although facial expressions are very important. He is great. We should keep him here longer.
The actors here are very, very quick at putting into practice what I've been teaching them, and hopefully you saw today. Some really good stuff from, I've only known them for a day. Already they're picking up how to do it and do it well, and that's really rewarding.
More than 3/4 of what he said is all new to me. I have only acted on stage before. This is screen acting. This is totally new. And from yesterday and today, I've learned a whole lot of things, and I have to adjust to that. And this was not easy. It was really tough.
This is my second visit for the project, and I've been here for 10 days, running a couple of workshops for writers, and giving some lectures about various techniques of television drama, and then working with the team of writers to produce the second episode of this very exciting project.
I think that with training such as that we've had, the lectures that this week's lectures and next week's lectures on acting for the camera, writing television drama, and directing for the camera, things like this are invaluable. And I think that the more people who can be exposed to workshops such as these, who are already in the industry, the more the better.
I've been in television drama myself now for nearly 30 years. I had to learn the hard way. So it's been a question of condensing all that experience into a few weeks with some very talented and very bright and very able writers, but without the experience. They just haven't had it here. So that's been the main challenge, and I think we've succeeded.
I had no training before. it was inborn. And so I just got there and I did my thing. And now Patrick is just telling me, yes, it's fine to have that inborn, but you need to learn some techniques, you know. So this is why I'm finding this very, very, very good workshop. It's my first workshop and it's absolutely wonderful.
The project's development phase climaxes with the broadcast of an introductory mini-series.
The writers will write for another 4 weeks and produce what will be the final drafts of the 3 scripts. And then in October, they start filming. And the month of September is set aside for pre-production. And they're hoping to film for 7 weeks, I think it is. And then hopefully by Christmas, you'll be able to see these programs.
The TV program will be broadcast in English on KBC television and in Kiswahili on KBC radio. TV Africa will carry the programs throughout the continent. They'll also be shown on mobile video cinema and through Regional Reach, a community viewing television network in East Africa. The project's funding needs now rely on a broad collaboration between the UN, the private sector, donors and other institutions.
In the long run, we hope that this series will run of its own, that we will be getting private sponsors, that business and advertisers will help us and promote the series.
It's more than tragic.
To date, combined contributions amounting to $250,000 from the UN in Kenya, the British Council and Ford Foundation have covered nearly a third of the first phase budget of $800,000. A further contribution from UNICEF regional office is now being considered. This will bring the funds raised so far up to almost half the total needed. Other institutions can use Heart and Soul to meet their communication needs and to gain from the unprecedented exposure now on offer.
How about that? Will that get me into trouble?
Heart and Soul anticipates a large and loyal audience. This will also attract private sector sponsors who have a crucial role to play in ensuring the program's long-term success.
Why are you doing this to me?
Sponsors will enjoy many direct and indirect marketing opportunities. These include program credits, brand and product placement, pre-publicity media exposure, UN corporate association, PR and promotional opportunities, and discounted advertising airtime.
You came here for an STD test.
Over time, Heart and Soul will grow into an African media institution that transcends national borders. It'll promote positive social values and create jobs and opportunities. It'll also provide a vehicle for a wealth of African talent that so far has remained untapped.
We haven't had intercourse
since you were unfaithful?
We look forward to receiving your support.
Heart and soul. What's a person without heart and soul? All the people in your life sharing love and everything. That's heart and soul. Heart and soul. Every laugh, every cry you make. We are family. You mean everything to me. My heart and soul.
That's tragic.
It's more than tragic. It's disgraceful.
But why wasn't the site fenced off?
The company was supposed to do that. But what I understood was some councillors were also directors in the same company. So they just turned a blind eye and made a packet of it too. You know, some people will sell their own mothers just to line their own pockets.
I can't. I've got school.
On the weekend? What are you going to do in school on a Saturday?
Yeah. The lecture's helping me revise for the exams.
Do you ever take risks? Forget to be polite, cut school, do something that will get you into trouble.
How about that? Will that get me into trouble?
Wow.
From what I know, intensive flower growing ruins the ground. Takes too much water. The farmland will never recover.
So what? Why should it worry us when we've sold the farm? You know, as a going concern.
It is irresponsible. Someone ought to care. Anyway, Mother would never agree to that sort of change.
It is not her farm anymore.
It is not ours either.
Not yet. Think of that extra cash that would help you sort out your problems.
It would kill Mother, though. Is that what you're trying to do? Wreck this family?
And I've got a lazy husband who expects to be waited upon head and foot. And I've got children who think money grows on trees. And I've got parents who don't even think I can look after a family properly.
And they all expect you to stay cool, calm, and collected? Why are you doing this to me? Don't I mean anything to you?
Don't get smart with me, Agatha. Listen. Listen to me carefully. You were nothing when I married you. You're nothing right now. If I divorce you, you'll be worse than nothing. Get this through your thick head. Foolish woman.
You came here for an STD test. How did you get it? I bet it wasn't from your wife. Look, you were brave enough to ask for an HIV test. Will you be brave to tell your Salome?
Why should I? We haven't had intercourse.
Since you were unfaithful?
It was an accident. First time ever. It won't happen again.
You have to realize that a single exposure could cause infection. And remember, testing negative now does not mean that you are virus-free.
So what should I do?
Use protection until the next time you come for the test.
Even with my wife? But she won't know why. And that's bound to ruin my marriage.
Not doing what I have just told you could be far worse than that. AIDS will kill both of you.
If you really loved me, you wouldn't mind waiting.
You can't blame me for trying. I'm being honest. If you just let me, just this once, promise I won't ask again. Come on, admit it. It was a good try. I love you. And I can't wait.
Heart and soul. What's a person without heart and soul? All the people in your life sharing